Good morning. It's Saturday, August 26th. October. It's October. Saturday, October 26th. Wow, that was weird. So my week has been an absolute wreck, and a big reason for that is because I agreed a long time ago to do lights and sound for a local theater production. So we've been doing like 6 or 6:30 to 10 p.m. rehearsals Monday through Friday. And so I have time for absolutely nothing. And so we're there last night, and it's getting late. It's been a long week. We're all getting kind of, and the director had decided that the production is Guys and Dolls, and so there's a lot of dice rolling in this play. And the director had decided that there's a scene where there's a special pair of dice that don't have any spots on them. And the audience can't really see that. They have to trust that the characters are going to relay that information accurately and that you'll believe them that there are no spots on the dice. Well, the director's like, well, let's not leave it up to chance that they understand what's happening. Let's actually make a pair of dice that are big enough you can see from the back of the theater that they don't have any spots. So he comes in last night with his 2" by 2". Each of them are 2 dice, 2" by 2". They're painted foam, so they don't weigh anything and they don't clunk on the floor. And he's like, here, we're going to use these. So I'm like, okay, this is a little bit silly, but it'll probably be okay. It's theater. It's kind of a funny play. So we get to the scene, and the whole cast is backstage because it's just a tech rehearsal. And it's me and like a couple other people out in the back of the theater running things. And he pulls these out, and I could not, all you could hear in the theater was some dialogue going on, and then way in the back, for like 5 minutes straight, I could not control myself because he was trying to roll these huge. It looked like he was bowling. It was amazing. It was amazing. Hopefully, I will be able to record today. I have some things in mind I want to work on, and we'll see how that goes. I feel really bad because with these night rehearsals, I don't have time in the evening to record like I was hoping I would, and so Saturday is my only day to do that. Of course, I'll be working next Saturday, so I won't get to do a video next week. I won't get to do any recording until at least the following week when we won't have as many rehearsals. It's only a 2-week run of the show, so it'll end soon. It's not going to be a total disaster forever and wreck my life that much. But of course, one of the things I'm going to try and create for my channel is videos where I'm playing the different parts of the songs. It's something I've been wanting to do for a really long time. If I had the tools to do it, I would actually like to put music videos together where I'm green screening myself in on top of all these different layers, and so I'm on screen all the different parts on one set. So it's me like 4 times, or 5 or 6 or 8, however many. But unfortunately I don't have the room or the technology to do that, so the next best thing is to split screen myself with all the major instrument parts. So we'll see how that goes. That's my goal, but of course you never know when you're going to get a good take on the instrument when you're video recording, so it could get a little interesting. So I'm not really recommending an album so much as I'm recommending a band. A couple years ago, this band Ume, U-M-E, it's spelled, came through town and they played a show. They were an opening band actually, but they were so good. Oh my gosh. Their sound is kind of a blend. It's sort of a, I don't want to say retro because it's not old enough yet to be retro, but it's sort of a late 90s shoegaze rock sound. Pretty interesting, but a lot of emphasis on the melody, which I really appreciate because oftentimes in shoegaze type music the melody is completely ignored, which to me is just lazy. Bad songwriting. We could fight about it later. One of the reasons I want to recommend this is because I believe still on Bandcamp you can go and get their first EP, Sunshower EP, which I recommend highly because they're experimenting with their sound, as a lot of bands do with their initial offerings, and it's fun to hear the evolution of the band, and actually some of their earlier songs are some of their favorite material of mine. That come out right? Also, they are currently working on a new album. I think they've actually finished recording. They recorded it in Seattle, which is kind of awesome. A lot of bands, for some reason, like to record in Seattle, which is cool because it's the Pacific Northwest, so it's kind of my area, but it's also like a 6-hour drive, so I'm not anywhere actually close to it. I just think it's a cool idea that so many bands like to do that. Sky Larkin does that. They recorded at least the last 2 albums in Seattle, so I just think that's awesome. But yeah, so they're going to finish up a new album. I'm not exactly sure when, but you can check their Facebook page and their Bandcamp page and all that other stuff, and hopefully it'll be out soon. And I'm just really interested. A band like this doesn't come along very often, where they have that sort of late 90s shoegaze aesthetic, It's really, it takes you back in time a little bit. And I'm really interested to see how they progress. One of the things I often like to refer to when I'm talking to people about my recording method is that for years I only used 2 microphones on my drums. And the major reason for that was I only owned 2 microphones, and my USB interface that I used for a long time only had 2 inputs. So everything I recorded was limited to 2 inputs. So just because drums are supposed to have more doesn't mean I could have more. It got to the point where I kind of resented people for saying that you have to have at least 5 microphones on your drum kit. Every single little piece needs to have 3 microphones positioned around it in exactly this. If you have the resources to do that, cool. Go for it. But two major problems with that for me was one, it breeds an attitude of discontent. You know, you feel, oh, I don't have enough recording gear to record, so I just won't record. Well, I didn't have anything, so I had to start from the basics and work my way up. And the other thing is that it gets you into this rut where there's a certain way you have to do things. I can't play around with it and see what works. I've got to do it like they say I've got to do it. That just gets really old really fast when you don't have the resources to pull it off. So I got really tired of that and just said, you know, I'm gonna go with 2 microphones because that's what I have. So of course I have my high microphone, the traditional overhead. It was my B1 condenser mic, Studio Projects mic. I just put that right behind me as I was sitting at my drum kit, and that would capture everything. And then I also had down underneath, close to the bass drum, but positioned sort of between the bass drum and the snare, had an SM57, a Shure microphone. And sort of had to tweak that until I got it in the right spot between the snare and the bass drum. So to kind of pick up both, it was pretty rough. And then I would just sort of EQ it until it was bearable. It was never great, but you know, it was better than nothing, and that was the alternative. I guess the point of all that is to say that it's possible to work with what you have where you are. And even though you don't have even very good tools, if you learn to use them correctly, you can make something that you're happy with. Alright, I should stop talking now. This is going to be so hard to edit. It's going to be so long. Oh my gosh. Maybe I should have had more caffeine like I did last week, so I'd run out of things to talk about really fast from lack of concentration. Either way, see you guys next time.